$1 million is all it took to build Reser Stadium back in 1953. Today, a trip to the Rose Bowl comes with a $14 million payout to each team. The last time this stadium had a team in the Rose Bowl, the year was 1965. The Beatles took America by storm, but the Beavers were rocking Reser all the way to the Rose Bowl. Here's Michelle, who sat down with a member of each of the last Beaver and Duck Rose Bowl teams.
The year was 1965. The Rose Bowl was the stage. Bob Grimm was 19 years old and a wide receiver for the Oregon State Beavers. The 8th-ranked Beavers entered Pasadena as the 11-point underdogs against the 4th-ranked Michigan Wolverines. However, OSU would soon find out the Rose Bowl proved to be anything but a bed of roses.
They overwhelmed us. We scored first. We led the game 7-0 and ended up losing 34-7. It was a terrific experience. I feel very fortunate to have been there. And it's hard to believe, very candidly, that it has been since 1965 that an Oregon State team represented the Pac-10 Conference in the Rose Bowl.
30 years later, the Oregon Ducks were back on top. After a slow start to the season, the Ducks wiped out the competition the rest of the way and proved they belong in Pasadena, that is, until the Penn State Nittany Lions came along.
It was a couple of different emotions because, you know, at one end, you're just happy to be there. You know, to be honest with you, it's like, oh, we made it. You know, this was the goal before the year. We made it, and then it's like, oh, well, you know what? We've come this far, we can actually win it.
But the Ducks did not win. They fell to Penn State by a final score of 38-20. While the battle for supremacy may be between the North and the South, it is also one of the East versus the West in Chip Kelly's East Coast attitude and the smooth West Coast style of Coach Riley.
Their personalities couldn't be more different. Chip Kelly, intense, sarcastic, and a sense of humor molded by his East Coast upbringing.
I haven't been here for 15 years. I'm not that smart.
It's the Super Bowl. It's the national championship.
It's not great for TV. It's not great media.
It's the World Cup. It's the Ryder's Cup. It's the America's Cup. It's the Stanley Cup.
Mike Riley, forthright and straightforward, balanced with that easygoing aura that you so often find on the West Coast.
It looks like another tough game. We start another week of preparation and another Pac-10 game. Same line as last week. Another good, tough Pac-10 team.
But differences aside, both men enter this monumental civil war as two of the most respected coaches in the nation. And that respect starts with each other.
What he's done up there is nothing short of amazing. He's got a great staff. You know, his players always play hard. You know, and you talk about one of the best coach teams in college football. It's Oregon State.
You know, I think he's done an outstanding job, and you know, he has impacted Oregon football for a while now.
With all that said, when the two teams take the field, all those niceties get thrown right out the window. For Kelly, his first Civil War as a head coach will probably be his biggest. One might assume his rookie status would give the Beavers an edge, but it was his offensive genius that helped lead Oregon to last year's blowout over OSU. And since he still calls the shots on offense and has already won 2 big games on the national stage against USC and Arizona, it's unlikely he's going to be intimidated come Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really, I'm not concerned it's the biggest one ever. If it's a Civil War, you know, I don't know if you can get any more excited.
Kelly preaches a mantra of win the day to his players, whether that day is a simple practice or one of the biggest football games Oregon has ever seen. The key for Kelly has been convincing his players that every game they play is more important than the last. A notion that definitely rings true this time around.
You can't put any more value on it than what it is right now, and every game to us every week is the most important game we play.
As successful as Kelly's first season calling the shots has been, it's the Beavs head coach who has the Civil War experience and a track record of success in the Beaver State. Mike Riley has flat out made the Civil War the intense two-sided rivalry it is today.
This has become a really good rivalry. You know, there was a time where it wasn't such a good rivalry, but I think in these you know, in the last decade, it's been very well done.
He's 4-4 against the Ducks, a monumental achievement considering where the program was before he took over, and even more impressive considering he compiled that record against the greatest coach in Duck history.
It's a privilege for me personally to be in it because I grew up with it, I loved it.
So call the coaching matchup a draw, but know what's on the line. Both know the significance of this particular matchup, a civil war for the ages with the winner getting a shot to stop and smell the roses. (1983), the Toilet Bowl, a game infamously ingrained in all Oregonians for its incredible ineptitude. 11 fumbles, 5 interceptions, and 4 missed field goals. The last NCAA game to ever end in a 0-0 tie, and the first on many lists as the worst game ever played.